Welcome back. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Rovi, and MScribe, and today is On-Chain Summer, right?
The beginnings of On-Chain Summer?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, dude.
Brought to you by Coinbase.
Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, whatever internal like black ops is
SEC
happening.
attack. Yeah.
Right, Gary Gensler's in on this.
Yeah.
It's definitely something afoot, which is, you know, when we made our friend tech video last week, we were reluctant even to do that just because, I don't know, there's too many potential red flags.
Yeah, so, even though with all those red flags, it's like there's still something here.
Right. And I think that thing is the fact that this is like a Coinbase push.
Yeah.
Even though they're like not like openly, you know, making that obvious, but you know there's some sort of like internal, you know, support for
operation.
All this, right? Yeah, because you know, literally a day or two after the launch of their breakthrough blockchain offering, right? Yeah. So decentralized they are all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the killer app just deploys and it has like the traction we've never seen before in Web3. Right?
Yeah.
Adoption, all this stuff.
By decentralized, you mean a new server has been spun up.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. So whether or not, I mean, the whole workings of their layer 2 mechanisms and stuff, that's a whole separate issue, right?
Yeah.
But we're talking specifically about this friend tech thing because it's everywhere. And typically we do this as, you know, crypto hobbyists, whatever you want to call us, entertainers. We find like the most entertaining things that are happening. And over the last few months, it's been ordinals, right?
Yeah.
And bitmap and all these new things that are happening.
And to a larger extent, it's still ordinals.
Correct. Right. But but we're seeing a lot of the same like indications, I guess, that like got us really excited about BRC20s and ordinals and bitmap and all this stuff. Like there is like a checklist of things that have to occur in order for, like, I guess what we're always in the hunt for is like the next mania, right?
Yeah, and towards the end of the conversation, hopefully we can rehash the whole conversation about what does friend tech and Bieber have in common?
Justin Bieber?
Yeah, Justin Bieber.
A beaver from the dam. Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber.
Okay, yeah, that's my own like internal like conspiracy theory, I guess.
I found it to be very interesting, and I see the parallels, so that's why we'll bring it up towards the end.
Yeah. So unfortunately or fortunately, you know, we're forced to, I guess, acknowledge friend tech, and even this feels like an unavoidable dabble. Like we got to dabble in this, because of
just for the science.
The science, and there's a force here, a force we haven't seen in a while. Like, at work, and I think we need to like be at least a part of it in one way or another, right?
Hashtag Justin Bieber.
Exactly. Right. He is the force of nature, as we've seen. So friend tech is definitely going to be the Bieber of Web3, potentially.
All right, so let's take a look at this. So this one we shared, I think I found it, you found it, and friend tech is taking over the crypto world by storm, amassing $1 million in fees in over the last 24 hours.
That's just fees, right?
Yeah, and this is largely being fueled by speculation and airdrop hype, but how can you get involved? So it's just a thread of, you know, onboarding onto friend tech, and I guess it's like starting to compete with like the bigger chains here.
I mean, compete's an understatement, dude. It's right underneath Lido, like literally the biggest. That's the liquid staking like platform of Ethereum, right? Like that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah. So Lido 1.61 million
above Uniswap, dude.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah, but you know, It is a lot of hype. I mean, we saw this with ordinals, right?
Yeah. Let's try not to me myself, not like freaking combust here. Yeah, let's simmer down a bit. Yeah.
And so.
Oh wait, here's another one, dude. Paradigm.
Yeah, Paradigm is in on this. So Paradigm, one of the bigger investors, they're comparable to like A16Z, Sequoia.
It's amazing, right? Like. This is what it's kind of like. It's feeding my conspiracy. Like this feels like some sort of black op because look us in ordinals land, dude. We've been grinding our asses off. It took about 8 months of like proof of concepting and generating volumes even higher than this, like with BRC20s and Unisat. And we just got our first VC entrant like a week ago with Xverse.
That's right.
Fucking day 2 or day 3, we got Paradigm coming in. It's like, you guys want some money?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that? How's this not setting off like crazy alarm bells?
Yeah. So this is where we're speculating here that this is like a coordinated effort by the higher ups.
There you go.
To push this this app on this Coinbase chain.
Yeah, very well simply put, dude. That's basically what it feels like. And I guess the question being, if you subscribe to this understanding, like we're all observing this in real time, right? And we're all participating in this debate or discussion of whether or not we should participate. And it's like knowing that there's like some sort of puppet show happening before our eyes with the higher ups, like you labeled them.
Right.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, do you just kind of like watch it from the sidelines? Like, dude, let's see what the higher ups do. Or
you definitely don't fade it.
You don't, right?
Yeah. I don't think you can, just because these higher ups, they're responsible for a lot of the stuff that's huge in the crypto space. Yeah.
It feels a lot like NFTs too. Like as much as people like to, I think nowadays people aren't as like supportive of the ethos of like NFTs being some sort of like organic Web3 primitive or whatever. There was definitely a lot of like puppeteering happening from the higher ups just to make NFTs as marketable as they became, right? All these big tier influencers, they didn't just organically find these routes of monetization. Like they're pulled in.
Yeah, like you're saying, Kobe found FriendTech in like 2 days.
Not Kobe Bryant, obviously.
Yeah.
Kobe, the crypto
guy,
influencer.
Yeah,
and they're all onboarded at this point, or most of them. And we're starting to hear like celebrities are starting to slowly,
Did you know that we're more than just a YouTube channel? We also built Mscribe, the first inscription platform built from the ground up for the metaverse on Bitcoin. Connect your bitmap ordinals and use our tools to bring your community into the virtual realm. Support us by joining the movement at mscribe.io. Like, comment, and subscribe for the latest alpha. Back to the video.
Trickle in.
Yeah, but these huge crypto influencers, they don't typically find stuff that early, like day 2, day 3.
I totally agree.
It was more like Brian Armstrong basically called them and said, hey, you need to check this out.
That's what I'm starting to pick up on, that vibe.
Yeah.
You got like Bankless, like literally launch day is like, dude, this is going to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Like, and we understand, like, this is how a lot of Web3 operates like this. And if there's any entity or organization with this much lever pool, it's Coinbase.
Yeah, for 100%.
Right.
And we were talking about how Coinbase is being attacked by the SEC. Yeah. And we were wondering, it's like, is FriendTech some degree of securities?
Yeah. And that was one of the potential red flags that kept us reluctant, right?
Yeah, because they're called shares. And as soon as something is called a share, it's automatically, you got to assume it's a security, right?
Yeah, or at least it's going to set off some red flags, right? Yeah. So it's like, why would they even do that? It's like so egregious, right?
Right.
And maybe this is some sort of, what do you call it? Like a psyop?
Yeah.
Like Brian Armstrong just literally like.
It's like, check this out, SEC. It's like, try to break this one.
Yeah, because actually there is no violation here for Howie, right?
It doesn't seem like it, because you as like a FriendTech user, you're not actually selling shares.
No, you're not.
You're just allowing people to use a smart contract that is on a bonding curve to purchase shares, which have
peer-to-peer.
Yeah, it's peer-to-peer, has nothing to do with you, but it grants them access to a private DM to you.
Correct. So yeah, I guess the issuing of so the way the Howie test works is it has to satisfy all four.
No, it has to satisfy at least one, and if it does satisfy, you are a security.
Oh, just one.
Just one.
Oh shit. Well, then maybe the securities thing is still on the table, because there's no investment though, so that should make the whole thing. But in a common enterprise, right, is the one that could be potentially finagled here from the SEC's perspective.
But the investment is in the common enterprise. They didn't invest in a FriendTech user.
Right. It's not like the
investment means I'm using those funds to increase the value of the shares.
Yeah. You're not giving like Kobe, the crypto Twitter influencer, like hundreds of thousands of dollars collectively as a market, and so that he can, I don't know, launch this killer merch brand or something like that. It's just going to make his own personal brand go up in the future or something like that. And then now your share price goes up.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening. Right?
Correct.
But there are like some back end mechanisms for him to monetize and potentially do the same thing, but it's not direct.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think we're okay here, dude.
Yeah. It seems, that's why we're saying, is like, it seems like this is sort of designed in this specific way to show the SEC is like, look, this has nothing to do with securities, yet it has some potential red flags, which, once you look at it, doesn't violate anything.
Yeah. Okay. So back to why we're talking about FriendTech again, because, this is what we do, I guess. Like we talked about it last week, is it something interesting that's happening? Mm-hmm. It got some initial momentum, and here we are a few days later. It's just gaining steam.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Just it reminds me of BRC20s. It's like, hey, this is interesting. There's a little market here of people who created like fungibility within the ordinal space.
Right.
It was baby at the time when we found it, like 20 million or so market cap.
Yeah.
Dust.
Yeah.
And within a few weeks, we talking $1 billion market cap.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, I mean, so here we are again.
Yeah,
dude.
it's potential here.
Yeah.
All right, I want you to take a look at this tweet. So this thread by ASXN, it breaks down the math if these points were to be saleable as tokens. So during the next 6-month period, there's going to be an airdrop of points. These are completely off-chain assets, but people are speculating that as trading happens, you earn these points. And they show that Kobe has about 1 million points. As you can see here, Kobe.
Holy.
1 million points.
Wow.
And if these were priced basically from $100 million market cap all the way to 600 million market cap, you have a range of prices.
Okay.
And if it falls within this range, Kobe's about to receive roughly $600,000 airdrop.
I see. But this is pure speculation, right?
This is 100% speculation.
They haven't even said like an airdrop
Correct.
is coming, an actual on-chain token drop. They're just distributing points.
Yeah, and the reason why the speculation is happening is because Paradigm, they signed a token warrant, which doesn't mean anything. It just means if there is a token, Paradigm gets a share of those tokens.
Yeah, how do you find that information out?
That's just hearsay. Like
okay.
People talking, DMs, stuff like that.
That's fascinating. Well, yeah, more fuel to the speculation, I guess. So
yeah. So again, I get token warrants don't mean there is a token coming. It doesn't mean that. It just
means the investors are positioned properly in the event one comes.
If there is a token.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right. So points are airdropped to users every Friday for using the application.
Yeah. And as far as like the actual distribution, I guess, parameters, I don't know if it's like well understood. Like, is it all based on communication engagement in your chat room? Is it based on just purely trading activity? Is it based on how many times you log in? I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows that, right? It's just the point is keep these things kind of obscure so everybody's doing as much as possible, right?
Yeah, and anytime that there's a new product on crypto, it's always good to dabble and just investigate and actually use the stuff that's being I guess generated from DeFi all the way to something like FriendTech, just because these airdrops do happen, and Uniswap, for example, they airdrop like $5,000 or $6,000 per wallet.
Yeah, I
mean, which is a significant amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Miles for putting all this together, and the FriendTech thing. Like, let's extrapolate this. Like, I see the potential that this app could access like the normal Twitter users.
Agreed.
And those normal Twitter users will probably likely to speculate on other Twitter users, like, let's say, high school football players, right? Going to college and the college to mainstream, these huge sports, right?
Correct.
And so why not have them speculate on something like FriendTech, anywhere early on all the way to like where they explode?
Yeah, there's definitely like what you're talking about, there's like a virality X factor here.
Yeah.
That is like, that doesn't exist in a lot of other projects, right?
And not only that, this taps into interest outside of crypto. Like, people who are not crypto users, all of a sudden they hear about FriendTech and speculating on like, accounts, politicians, potential superstars in any league.
Yeah. Yeah, this can be leveraged in so many different like verticals for sure. Like, it doesn't just have to be crypto Twitter influencers. That's just like the starting proof of concept point.
Yeah.
But yeah, this introduces a new vehicle to where I guess like anybody who's doing anything of like human activity that society deems of value, right? It could be like, dude, this kid's like fucking getting straight A's in school, man. Like, he's launching some shares. He's
definitely going to Harvard.
He's going to Harvard. He's like, that's his pitch to the world. It's like, here's my Twitter account. You can follow me during my college career.
Yeah.
It's like, my goal is to become like an actual giga politician, and like, I'm gonna run for president one day.
Get Nobel Prize.
Something. So it's like, dude, I like this guy, and then maybe I'm gonna speculate that more people will like this guy in the future, and he'll end up being the next Barack Obama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I bought in early, like 20 years prior to him becoming a president, I'm fucking set for life.
Yeah, 100%.
Now we're starting to sound much more like securities. Like, it feels very similar.
Yeah,
but nobody.
But technically,
there was no exchange of
of
value.
Yeah.
So probably not. So this is interesting for a lot of reasons. For that,
yeah,
the whole SEC grayness of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting.
Very.
Right? The fact that this can be like socially engineered for so many like an infinite variety of use cases.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting.
Yes.
Super interesting. Yeah, this could potentially bring like more enthusiasm and interest back to Web3 because right now we're like in a total dead phase, right? Everything looks ugly and disgusting. But yeah, probably like the most logical or like the most optimal attack vector back to the retail consumer market is probably Twitter.
Yeah.
That's where most people exist on a day-to-day basis.
Elon's here, by the way.
Correct. Yeah. So like this is pinging a lot of those like fuck man, like X factor check marks. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to become one of those unavoidable things. Like we all have to participate or like pay attention to at least. You know?
Yeah. And you found an interesting, I guess, piece of evidence. So Base, it says meet FriendTech, the first viral social app on Base founded by a team with expertise on on-chain social. And then they shared this meme, and I've never seen this meme before until just now, until Coinbase and this other guy we're about to show. I think I have it. I might not have it.
Yeah, so that's Base, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have it. But yeah, so Base shares this tweet, and then you say, hey, I've seen this before.
Yeah, I just started to do some investigation into the founders, right? Because now they're pumping. At first, Base wasn't really like promoting or pushing this, remember?
Yeah, at first they weren't.
When we first discovered it, it's like Base really is kind of like, silent.
Yeah.
But once I guess the traction picked up, now Base is promoting. Even Coinbase is getting in on this. Like, there's definitely a lot of support in this. So it got me to thinking, like, dude, this feels, like we were talking earlier, orchestrated, coordinated, right? There's some sort of tie-in. And then I started thinking about, like, when has this ever happened in, like, the real world, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It happens in the music industry from, like, what I guess, like, a commonly used term is industry plants, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what this feels like. This feels like Web3's version of an industry plant.
Basically, the industry selects somebody.
Or something, some product, some team, whatever.
Yeah, and they all collectively agree to push that thing.
Yeah, whatever that internal. This is a new invisible hand, right? The invisible hand is like the market, the people, right?
Correct.
What do we call this? Like the iron hand?
Yeah.
This is like not the people.
Yeah.
This is like the people that are trying to run the people.
Yeah.
These are the people trying to guide that invisible hand.
Correct.
And they're hard to identify. They're good at hiding things.
Yeah.
They're good at manipulation, right?
Yeah.
So
how do we equate that to Justin Bieber again?
I don't know, dude. Fucking because he to me was one of the more obvious industry plants, dude. Like the music industry just plopped him out of his fucking basically his cradle.
Yeah.
Slapped a guitar in his lap and like, dude, go sing and dance for the masses and we're gonna push you.
Yeah.
On every single music vertical that exists, right? And straight out of the womb, basically. Yeah. Like it's just a wild success. And then once he became irrelevant, just discarded, right? And let's do that to the next person. So to me, this feels a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And if you take the context of what actually happened to the career of Justin Bieber, it was gargantuan, right?
Yeah, I know nothing about Justin Bieber. I largely faded him when he was popular, and I was just not interested in
I'm just using him as an example. I think
it's a good example because I think he didn't write his music, right?
No.
So he's got ghostwriters.
Correct.
And
this is all industry stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but he's got some talent, right? And so they leveraged that and just collectively pushed him. And
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is Coinbase's like Justin Bieber. In other words, this is their big showcase. This is the prettiest thing they can come up with. That's the most attractive and alluring to the most like the widest demographic.
I find it interesting that there's potential that it violates securities in like the higher level view of things. Yeah. But when you look at it, it doesn't seem to violate anything. And Coinbase is in the middle of a tussle between them and the SEC.
Yeah.
And so like this is like a good example to showcase to the SEC is like you can do things without violating the securities, right? So it's just funny how everything just lined up, and that's why it adds fuel to your theory that this is like designed.
Yeah. So if we're correct in this assumption, then if we're at the starting point of Justin Bieber's career, like in the Web3 sense with friend.tech, then this is something you definitely want to get like on the ground floor on.
Yeah.
right?
And by the way, CoinGecko is tracking
yeah
a lot of these tokens.
Or just a few for now, but this was introduced literally yesterday. So
yeah,
this is more, again, indications that something is building here, something is accruing from an industry collective standpoint. Like, you know, forces at play, the iron forces, they want to see this take off.
Yeah, right? It's interesting. So there's 26,000 in trading volume
for
these four.
Right.
Sisyphus, I've heard of this guy. Yeah. So yeah, CoinGecko, I guess it's you know, they're supporting this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's it. I think we've covered everything, right?
I mean, there's a lot more to cover, but I don't know. I guess Block Runner coming soon to FriendTech.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing. That's what's so weird about this whole conversation is there still is this feeling of like, man, should we or should we not?
Oh yeah, I forgot to show one last thing. So here's the other side. So he says, do not buy FriendTech. This guy says, as I've listened to a lot of spaces today regarding security, the access you give the app and implications of using it right now, I am deleting it and will be deactivating the account as soon as the option becomes available.
Right. So I joined from my personal Twitter account. So shout out to everybody who came in and, you know,
the bots
got a couple shares.
Yeah.
You know, it was just so I've been thinking about like, yeah, how can I, you know, bring some more value to you guys? And I was like, dude, the Block Runner should be doing this potentially. Right.
Yeah.
So then, but I guess, I don't know, we need to discuss this more with you guys because if we're going to do it, there's got to be some sort of like value add to this. It's not going to just be you guys speculate on like whether or not the Block Runner is cool or not, whatever the fuck people do with these shares, right? So that's not figured out, and that's definitely not clear.
Yeah, so let us know in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Should we join? Should we not join? And
just fade and watch from the sidelines? Because I'm perfectly okay with doing that too.
Yeah.
But this is definitely interesting. This is entertaining as AF, dude.
Yeah.
I'm entertained.
As it gets,
Yeah.
All right, yeah, let us know in the comment section below. Follow us on all our Twitter accounts, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.